I feel like if you're an educator and you have the opportunity to influence and affect so many children in a positive way, and you just solely stick to your subject, you're not considered an educator in my eyes. There is no personalized attention. Like, the kids complain all the time, like, I feel like another number in the register. There's definitely good and bad parents out there. There are some parents who, as you said yourself, think they're good parents, but they're really doing everything that is wrong, like a detriment to their children's health. A pregnant woman who consumes processed sugar, and when her child has processed sugar through the first 2 years of their lives, they increase the risk of type 2 diabetes by 35%. I've met so many rich parents who are great parents and rich parents who are terrible parents. There are a lot of parents who come up to me and they say, I don't know how to say no because I want to have a beautiful relationship with my child. You're not supposed to be your child's best friend. You have to be careful who influences your children. And at the end of the day, if you don't have kids, go work in an office. We just created a space we wish existed in Cyprus. The kids, because they're so proud to be part of Dreamsters and they understand the reason why it was created.
Yes.
But how do you say you care about their health when you have, as you said, those vending machines that they have access to every single day? And their canteens, I'm sorry to say this, they serve cancer. If you love your job, you should see it as a good challenge and a responsibility to make these kids want to run in the institute. I think it's a crime that children spend so many hours at school and they end up absolutely, knowing nothing. Many times the teachers, as I said before, they crush the kids' spirits.
Good evening, my dear Nafsika. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I'm so impressed with your institution. And I'm very excited I have a lot of things to talk about. But first of all, I want to welcome you and thank you that you will share your story and your journey with us. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast, Elizabeth, and welcome to Dreamsters.
Thank you. You are just English teacher. So why you care so much about your children, what they eat, what activities they do, what habits they have? Why?
I feel like if you're an educator and you have the opportunity to influence and affect so many children in a positive way, and you just solely stick to your subject, you're not considered an educator in my eyes.
Yes. And did you had this experience when you were studying or with your teachers or no? Or it's because you didn't have, you want to hear?
Oh, basically, I think maybe I should start from the beginning in order for people to understand a little bit about why the project was created in the first place. And basically, I was raised here in Limassol. I was brought up with my brother. Our parents are like in middle-class family. And it was really nice. My mom was a very nurturing, a sweet, kind person. However, even though my parents tried their best, they lacked so much knowledge when it came to self-care and eating healthy. So, and a combination of some health issues I had as a kid. I was taking loads of cortisol and a bad diet. I just ended up gaining lots of weight. I was self-conscious. And then I decided that I basically didn't want to have this life. And I think when I was in primary school or secondary school, I decided that I wanted to change. So I just started eating healthy and taking care of myself. I went to uni. I studied English language teaching. So basically, I felt like I wanted a better life for myself. So I went to uni. I learned English. Yeah. So after that, I basically I worked at private schools in the UK.
Yes.
I came back to Cyprus. I worked at private schools and institutes. And even though I was offered an amazing opportunity to work at a nice private school here in Limassol, I decided that I didn't wanna follow that path because
You want to create your own.
Yes, I had worked with hundreds of kids, and I would say that the education system. The question isn't whether kids hate school, because it is a fact and everybody talks about it. The real question is why they don't like school and why they dislike learning in general. Everyone is sick and tired of the system. A system that produces unhappy children with no goals, rushes them through their childhood, and does not allow them to enjoy it. There was such a huge problem with the education system, like it ran deep. And I felt like I didn't just want to teach my children English.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that my childhood had a big effect when it came to that, because I didn't want to see other children feel lost.
Yeah.
And, the education system doesn't really do much for kids. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, but it just feels like they're creating perfect employees, kids who are just not, they're too scared to take risks. And yeah, I just wanted to change that.
In the school system, they don't want us to learn about money because they just want to pump out good employees that do what they're told. I mean, if you look at school, it's opposite of what it takes to be successful in real life. Don't make a mistake. Do as you're told. Take tests by yourself. Don't cooperate. Do it by yourself. Do it on your own. And the last thing was, there's only one right answer. No, there's tons of answers to a problem. So you come out of school scared to death of making a mistake. You do everything on your own. You don't cooperate. There's no synergy. There's no brainstorming. And there's only one right answer. Everybody wants to get the right answer. There's no one right answer. So I think people come out of school paralyzed. I think the school system is criminal in that it kills a child's spirit of learning. A child goes into school all excited about, I'm going to learn and it's going to be great. And then the teacher says, sit down and shut up. Don't talk. We don't care what you're interested in.
So who you are now and who you was before, and who is behind this beautiful institution?
Okay, so a very close friend of mine he kept looking at me and just seeing how my students loved me and their parents adored me through the years, and how much I would complain at the same time about the education system. Like, I would get back home and I'll be like, oh, I hate how the classrooms look like. Oh, I hate the way that I'm only allowed to teach this and that, and I wish I could do this.
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you do that? And I was just like, what do you mean? Why don't you just do something on your own? And it just dawned on me that that was a thought that never crossed my mind, because even though I was trying very hard to improve myself in so many areas as a kid and as a teenager.
But you're afraid to take a risk.
Yeah, I was very scared. Like, the biggest risk I had taken at the time was go out without a raincoat. Like, that was literally, that was it. And I kept thinking about it, and I was just giving him excuses. I was like, I can't do this because I don't have enough money. Like, what do you mean? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I was basically saving some money to just, get my own apartment, have my cat.
So you were working there before as a teacher in different school, correct?
Yes. I was working at a private school and at an institute at the same time. So it was just, everything was all over the place. So I could see both private school experience, so how the kids actually felt, even though they're at a private school.
Yeah.
We think everything is great when still the system is basically the same.
What mistakes you saw there? Like, not there, I mean specifically, but what mistakes you saw and you didn't like?
With the education system in general,
yes.
I feel like the problems are, the same issues that I had as a student and you had as a student and our parents had as a student, like traumatic experiences with educators and stuff like that. I think everything is the same. And parents from both public and private schools complain, because we've got both of them here at the Institute. Like, they rush so much with the curriculum. They assign so much homework to the kids. There is no personalized attention. Like, the kids complain all the time, like, I feel like another number in the register. They feel like most subjects are useless, and they just have no motivation overall.
I was always thinking, like, if in one classroom there is more than 20 students, how possible to pay attention to these 20?
It's not that easy, because you could be the best teacher in the world. If you have 30 plus kids in a classroom, there's just as much as you can do.
So why they do that?
Profit? I mean,
Yeah.
Come on, like the more kids you put in a classroom, the more income you might get.
Yeah, but it's kind of become like they must pay attention what generations is coming. It's one of the most important thing.
Of course.
So how you can count these just numbers? There is the mistake start.
Of course.
I believe.
Of course.
You mentioned before about good parents.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about this. What is mean for you a good parent? And let's call it not good parents, because maybe some parents, they think they love and there is a way they think it's love, but basically maybe it's not love. So let's talk about that and let them to understand if they do love or maybe not.
I believe that there's definitely good and bad parents out there. And that's why I also put my parents in the good parents category, because they genuinely wanted to give their best. They just didn't know how. However, on the other hand, there are some parents who, as you said yourself, think they're good parents, but they're really doing everything that is like a detriment to their children's health. Take, for example, let's say a tennis coach, right? Like, kids love sports. Hopefully, most kids love sports. Which, yeah. So imagine that you're a parent and you take your you take your kid to a coach who is someone who smokes, who speaks badly to your kid, who has no ambitions, no discipline. They're overall a bad influence for your child. And you're like, yeah, but it's close to my house, so why not? I'll just take my kid there. You understand that, I don't know, do you think that's a good parent?
No.
It's not.
Definitely
right?
no.
And another thing that has become the norm, and I'm pretty confident that you yourself have seen this. I was recently, a few months ago, out in public, and I had seen a family. It was a group of friends, basically, young parents, right? Around 10 people. And they had a toddler with them. They were like very sweet and nurturing towards the baby, but they were all smoking shisha and regular smokes and just blowing it around the kid. And I'm like, are those good parents?
They think, yes, but because maybe we don't have nowhere educational system for parents, because I'm sure most of the parents, they do love their children, but they don't have nowhere to go and to learn how to be a good parent. Or some of them, the ego will not let them to do that because they think they know everything, but none of us can know everything. And how possible to just have a baby and know exactly what you have to do, not to damage this baby, not to become, in the end, with bad influence. So another examples of good and bad parents, can you give?
I think that this might be a little bit of a touchy subject, but I like to just speak honestly, as I do every time with parents that come here, and I'm just a very honest person.
Yeah.
There are so many recent studies, especially from the recent NIH research recently.
Yeah.
They had shown that a pregnant woman who consumes processed sugar, and when her child has processed sugar through the first 2 years of their lives, they increase the risk of type 2 diabetes by 35%. So if you, as a mother, as a parent, know that this is about to happen, there are high chances, 35% is not little, and you still choose to do that, I don't know what to say. I think it's on you.
It's obvious, yeah.
So, and I don't want to get misunderstood. This is not about status and money, because I've met so many rich parents who are great parents and rich parents who are terrible parents, and they've been not the greatest with their children. And I've met parents who were less fortunate and also have been amazing or terrible. So it's not about status, it's about choices.
Yeah. And as a teacher, what do you think, what mistakes parents do that children can become aggressive, or they can hurt animals, or they can hurt the other students? Where you see, from where the mistake comes?
Most of the time it starts from home. I see it quite often that children that never hear the word no, and they just always get what they want, usually become, when someone else tells them, no, you cannot have this, they just get aggressive. And of course, screen time is also a big issue.
When you allow that in your brain, the screen time, 3.5 hours, if you're on for 3.5 hours a day, you have an increased risk of anxiety, depression, addiction, obesity, ADHD. And our society's on way more than that. And you go, so why are we having this epidemic of teenage suicide and mental health problems, especially in teenage girls? Social media. It's one of the big issues of the day. And not only are you wearing out your pleasure centers, you hate yourself.
For instance, at the Institute, I think you can see our students have tablets during the lessons, but the time is very monitored. And while they're having the lesson, they have to communicate in English, and it's just 15 minutes per session. And the parent should monitor what the kids are like, watching on the screens and everything. Because if you take so much dopamine away from a child, after you've introduced them to that amount of dopamine, and then you go, okay, just grab this and play or draw, they're not going to do that. The kids need to be away from that from the very beginning, and then gradually how to handle their emotions,
Some parents, and I see recently, they think if they don't say no to children, they grow somebody who will have self-confidence. And I think they kind of lose the control. And as a teacher, can you talk about this, so how they can control this situation?
Natural to want to protect them from discomfort or failure, but doing so can make your life harder and most importantly, hold them back in the future. So how can we help with children? Teaching them how to be responsible from a young age is simply non-debatable, just as it's non-debatable that smoking or substance abuse can destroy their health. There are a lot of parents who come up to me and they say, I don't know how to say no because I want to have a beautiful relationship with my child. And I feel like if I say no, then I kind of just lost them. And the thing is, my humble opinion through my experience is that you're not supposed to be your child's best friend. Yes, you're supposed to have a beautiful relationship with them, but that's not your role. You're not supposed to be the cool person that, why don't you just give them alcohol or drugs then because it's cool, So a parent needs to understand that there have to be healthy boundaries that the child can play in and just grow in. They need to know that you're an adult, you're a parent, and no matter what you do, you're going to be, next to them. But at the same time, that there's consequences for your actions. Even here, the way that you could turn 1 second in the classroom and I'm playing with the kids and running like I'm a 10-year-old. And on the other, they're having a lesson, they're being respectful to each other. And if I see something, the only thing I need to do is just give them the stare. And that's enough if they did something bad.
They understand it's time to.
So the thing is, in order for you to do that, you need to show them that you genuinely love them, you genuinely care for them. And if they love you and they trust you, they want to make you proud. That's why when you ask me about, why do I care as an educator? Because you can take advantage of it in a good way. There are many parents who come up to me or they will call me and so she got out of the house, she's 13 years old, she looks 20, she won't listen to me, she wears these shorts, she puts this amount of makeup on, can you please talk to her? And then she'll come to class, and this happened, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then the mom will call me, thank you. That was it. Just because the way that I speak to them.
Can you tell the way that you speak to them? So maybe some parents can speak like that to their children.
I like to show them the options. For example, if you dress like this, if you present yourself the way that you do, then when you go out, people think that you look like this, you're this, no self-worth, no whatever. You're like any other teenage girl. And I know we don't have time to go into detail when it comes to these things, but the thing is, girls see these things around them and they think it's normal.
Yeah.
So I told them, you can choose this road. It's your choice. It's your life. But if you do it, these are the consequences. A, B, C, these are your consequences. However, if you take this road, which is, taking care of your skin, respecting the way that you look, I'm not telling you to cover every single thing, but have balance. You cannot leave absolutely nothing to the imagination. And you cannot find it weird when the wrong people approach you. So it's your choice. All right. And then I just continue with my lesson and I let them process it. And I know that they process it. And of course, they see the way that I present myself in the classroom, and because I know that I have a big effect on them, it would be ridiculous if I was talking to them about nutrition and I ate junk food.
Yeah, of
It would be
course.
ridiculous if I talked to them about discipline and I wasn't that disciplined.
Do you ever wake up and you say, I don't want to do it today?
Yes, sometimes it's happened. We are all human beings. It's normal. It's part of us.
What do you do to overcome that?
It's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say talent without work is nothing. You have to challenge yourself to be consistent.
They would ask me, Miss, what you do today? I'm like, okay, I woke up at 5 a.m. I went for a run. I did this. I'm like, 5 a.m.? Like, are you in the mood for it? No, I'm never in the mood for it. But I know how I'll feel right after. So I like it. I just do it. That is enough for them, because kids don't do what you tell them. They do what they see, That's why.
So what they see, like, for example, parents give them wrong moves and habits and anything they learn, even though they don't show, maybe they do,
sure.
but they take the example of... we have to know who is teaching our children.
First of all, about schools, our kids spend, first of all, they sleep 8 hours, right? They wake up morning, they go to the school, they spend there 8-9 hours, and we don't know with who they spend time. Maybe these teachers, you don't even know what they're thinking, what they have on their mind, and you let them to give education to your kids. It's very dangerous. You have to control who teach your kids, and a lot of people miss this. And
that's very important, because many hours they are spending in school, sometimes more than with us. So how we can know who is teaching our children? Do they need to pass some mental health psychology tests before they start to teach our children?
One of our mottos at the Institute is choose wisely who teaches and influences your children. Going back to the person who supported me into creating this project and is now my business partner, he has been the greatest influence in my life, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to see what I am able to create.
Yeah.
So I tell the parents, it's never too late. You have to be very careful who is around your child, because that person they can affect their future in such a huge way. So don't take it for granted. I know at school, it's not that easy to say, oh, I don't want this teacher for my kid. I want that teacher, because the system works differently. But at least at the point where you can control it in the afternoon, is it a coach? Is it a dance teacher or someone at after school activities? You have to be careful who influences your children. They spend so many hours with those people. And I know amazing educators. They generally do their best, but it's very difficult because of the way that the system is wired. However, there are some teachers that I've met, ex-coworkers or just anyone that I've met in my life, and I could not handle talking to them for a minute. And I thought, if I cannot listen to this person for a minute, how can the kids just sit and listen to that person speak for hours? So they need to go. It's not just a degree, just me going to university, listening to a few things, passing an exam. How am I qualified to be a teacher? You need to check my, my mental abilities, my mental stability. And that's a thing, And apart from that, their character. And at the end of the day, if you don't have kids, go work in an office. That's my opinion. Do not traumatize them. It's just.
So what is your opinion? Why they don't check teachers before they start the journey with the kids?
I think that the system is generally, it just works in very funny ways. I wish I could change it. I generally have no idea why. But I would say that they care too much about convenience and profit, and they just don't go through the effort to do that in anything. It's not just education.
Yeah.
If you look around you, you see many people and you wonder, how is this person working here?
Yes, that's for example, we came around 9 p.m. and I see that your students just left.
Yeah.
And I see even your restroom is like shining. It's like I'm in one kind of clinic. And I'm so surprised and impressed. Please, can you tell the story how you teach them to have so much respect?
All those years, I've never been to such a clean and nice smelling restroom in an institute.
Yes. First of all, what I want to say is that I've always been great at teaching, but I have not been great when it comes to business. I just had no knowledge. And that's where my partner came in. And I remember when we were talking about the project, he said, I want you to imagine how you want the space to look like and just let me know about it. And I imagine the space look like any other institute, like plastic chairs and the desks and the announcement boards with the pins. And he said, no, don't imagine what you see. Imagine if you had a kid.
Out of the box.
Yeah. If you had a kid, how would you want your institute, the institute that your child learns at, look like?
Yeah.
And we just created a space we wish existed in Cyprus. You want me to build you an English language institute that looks like a luxury boutique hotel? Has a lounge area and a garden, high-tech equipment, and exclusive workshops that prepare you for life? Yeah! Okay. And I'm happy that you can see it. Generally, the kids have just left and it's almost spotless.
Yeah, it's like just also the cleaner just left.
Yes, I understand. We don't need a cleaner. We have her, but we don't need her.
But how you made them to be like that? I mean, I'm sure every mother will dream to have a child like this at home. So when he plays, after she will come in and see the environment in this nice way. So how you did it?
When the kids walk in the institute, apart from the fact that they go through an interview process, they learn how to be disciplined from day one, how to respect the space and themselves, their classmates. And the thing with the restroom is, and the whole institute itself, while we were building it, there were so many people against it. There were so many family members and friends, and they say, sweetie, can you please just regret it? Just change your mind. You're spending so much money for the kids. It's all white. They're going to break it. They're going to destroy it. They don't respect it. And as you said, I want to invite them over at 9 p.m. And I'm like, go check if you think that they don't respect it. The kids, because they're so proud to be part of Dreamsters and they understand the reason why it was created, which is, it's not just for them to learn English, it's to become the best version of themselves. They feel so proud to be part of it that they take care of it without me telling them anymore. In the beginning, they need a little bit of training, but then you don't need to say anything. Like, they themselves go check after someone. Okay, the restroom is clean, it's fine. It's so cute to see.
Yeah, it is. And I pay attention that everything you have here is like a healthy, natural tea and cookies. I mean, everything is natural. And at the same time, in some schools, I can see outside machines which they are selling chips, chocolates, and if it's not good for children to eat, how you sell it? I mean, I cannot understand this balance.
Yeah, there are many education spaces, and today with AI, it's very easy to advertise that you are the best space. You say, we care about the children, we care about their health, we care about mental and physical health for sure. We provide personalized attention. And I'm like, it would be nice if what you said was true, because we need more spaces who genuinely care for the kids.
Yes.
But how do you say you care about their health when you have, as you said, those vending machines that they have access to every single day, and their canteens, I'm sorry to say this, they serve cancer. That's what they do.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
true.
Sometimes
It's true.
my kids who go to certain schools, I'm not going to name them, but they will send me a photo of the menu and like, Miss, I really want you to see this. And they laugh because I read the menu and there's like 50 options, 3 healthy things, and the rest is just processed junk. So how can you say you provide personalized attention when you have 30 plus kids in the classroom? Or how could you say that you care about their mental health when you assign them with so much homework, literally so much homework, so many projects, to the point where they have to give up on their hobbies in order to catch up? So it's not about what we say, you have to practice what you preach. And definitely it's a huge issue. I wish they would change that at school. All parents say that the education system has caused their children to hate learning and that children lack basic life skills. They doom scroll on social media. They set no goals for themselves. They lack discipline. They fail to realize that success requires immense effort, have minimal knowledge of nutrition and exercise, don't build mental and physical strength. They lack communication skills and many more.
So now in internet, you can find so many information about the healthy food, healthy lifestyle, natural. I mean, we have so much access now. So why parents don't pay attention what their children eating in their schools?
It could be the hectic lifestyle. I understand that the modern pace of life today is very difficult. And again, there are so many good parents that they really wish they could help, but they feel like, oh, it's the easy way out. I don't excuse it. I feel like if you consider yourself a good parent, you need to do something about it. And there's so many options that they're easy to prepare, It's not just giving them money and say, okay, go and get whatever you want. Or it's fine, you'll eat healthy at home. Yeah, but if they eat junk every day at school, what's the point? I don't agree with that.
I think something must be changed in educational system, or maybe they should open more private schools and to check more the teachers, what they are teaching. I think parents have to follow up, because if, as you said, they just numbers and it's just about money. So in this case, I believe parents have to stand up and ask for better future for their children. So can you tell me some, if you have some students which they did some things and they impress you?
When it comes to growth, yeah. So a lot of people ask me if I consider the project, because it's about to just celebrate 2 years of running.
Do you believe it's a successful journey?
They ask me, Nafsika, how do you feel? Do you feel like you have succeeded?
I'm always excited to come, and me as a mom, I'm always very excited to bring in, because Nafsika gives her full dedication and herself towards Constantine and his knowledge.
And she is willing to come every time, and she is very happy afterwards.
We love Dreamsters because our child loves Dreamsters. I think that's the most important thing there is.
Just they come here and they feel loved, they feel appreciated, and this is all that matters to us. We love Dreamsters.
Do you think that everything is doing amazing? And I say success can look different for any person. For example, the fact that I am able to support each kid learn the best of their abilities when it comes to English is a given. Because I feel like, if you're a teacher at a certain subject, you're supposed to do it in a perfect way. So I don't even pay attention to that, Of course, they're successful when it comes to learning English. The point is, there's some success stories. We also have them on our Instagram, some videos with them. For example, it's Zach, who used to be a kid who was very lazy. He didn't have any goals in life, and he was quite overweight. And now he's the type of person who wakes up before school to go running. He's the type of person who is going to cook healthy for himself. And the type of person who wants to he already started working, but he really wants to work on self-development and just become better and better every day.
Two years ago, I was just a fat kid that had no goals in life, and I thought I would have everything ready in life. Ever since I started participating in the life preparation workshops, I changed one little thing about my everyday routine. Waking up before school to go running. After school or work, I go to the gym to exercise. After that, I go eat home-cooked healthy meal prepared by me. I work not only for the money, but also for the social networking and communication skills. I'm so grateful you've been my teacher for the past 2 years. You can teach us about things that you love and that are good for us. And especially you practice what you preach, which is very important. The main thing I love about Dreamsters is that you go against the school system, basically teaching us about the real world and not what the school wants us to know.
It's Maria Misto, who's like an 8-year-old student that we have. She had an accident at school and she was bawling her eyes out, not because she had to go to hospital, but because she knew she had to miss class that day. And her mom called me and she was like, please talk to her. She does not want to miss the lesson. So it's the fact that I see these kids change every day into, first of all, being motivated to come, because as educators, it should be our job to motivate kids to want to learn.
Mentors,
it's not like there's so many people who complain and they say, oh, this generation is so lazy, this generation is bored, this generation cannot pay attention for a long amount of time. Okay, it's your job. You're the educator. Of course it's difficult. Things are getting more difficult by the day, but it's a good challenge. If you love your job, you should see it as a good challenge and a responsibility to make these kids want to run in the institute. And I have that, like they pull them by the legs, they don't want to leave. And that is what success is.
It is, and I believe you should feel so proud. And I can say they are so like you, because it's important to have a person like that in their life. It came up one question to me. Let's say you have a power, or maybe you are in government, and you have this that you can change something in educational system. What it will be?
I would definitely remove subjects that are not that useful for children. I don't want to name specific ones. I think there's quite important ones, but others that are just a waste of time. I would definitely implement life skills. I think it's a crime that children spend so many hours at school and they end up absolutely, knowing nothing when it comes to taking care of themselves. So things like nutrition, exercise, discipline, communication skills, because they tell them that success is, you finish school, you go to uni, you get your degree, and then your life, just everything is going to come ready in front of you and they're just gonna wait for you. It doesn't work like that. I remember when I was a student and I bought my degree, I had worked so hard for that degree because I thought that was success.
Yeah.
And I just grab it, I'm holding it, and then I'm like, okay, now what? Like, where is my future now? I thought,
Yeah.
It's amazing that these kids think this is, the finish line. That is not the finish line. So they need to train children to understand that the real world out there is not just university, And I wish there was a way that every single school could teach that. And many say that they do, but
they don't. And how parents can find out? Like, let's say, yes, they don't check about mental health of teacher. They don't see who is teaching them, and many bad things are happening around.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say some parent really want to follow up to see if this teacher are good or bad. How they can understand?
You mean to check if the the teacher that is currently teaching their children is good.
Yeah.
Ideally, they could be able to just walk in a classroom, sit in the back, and watch them have a lesson at any point. Like if the teacher felt like someone was watching them teach, maybe that would have helped them. And it's a joke that we also have with the parents here. You know, when you walk into a restaurant and they have an open kitchen, you feel,
safe. Yeah.
You feel trust. You're like, oh, I know that the way they cook the food is clean and good.
Absolutely.
The same goes with the classroom. I tell them this is an open classroom because it's full of windows. They can literally sit in the lobby. They do it quite often. And just look inside the classroom, or they're in their car and they see what's going on inside. If you have trust and confidence in the way that you generally teach these children, you're like, oh, you're free to watch the lesson. I hope you have fun. Because I know that these kids are learning in the best of their abilities. And I'm not saying it in an arrogant way. I'm not an arrogant person. But I have not had one child walk out of my classroom not learning on the fullest of their abilities.
Yeah, but some teachers, I remember even my school, let's say if somebody will come to see how is the class going, the teacher immediately change and become the sweetest person in the world. But nobody see that before she was hitting us with a ring.
Oh my God.
So that's also you cannot control because she can change and show. Maybe somehow parents can find communication with the children by asking some questions to understand. So what questions parents can ask to understand if this person is with good mental health or no?
I think a very simple question would be, do you want to go? Do you want to go to class? If the kid says yes, I'm pretty confident that the teacher is doing a good job quite often. Why do I say that? Every kid that has worked at the institute during an interview and the parent would tell me, she hates English. I don't know what to do with her. Like I have her somewhere else and she hates it and she doesn't like English and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I say, okay, I look at the kid in the eye and I say, is it the teacher or classmates? And the parent will look at me like, why is she? It's my teacher or it's my classmates, and that the parent doesn't even know. So the parent needs to ask, why do you want to? Why do you not want to go in class? Many times the teachers, as I said before, they crush the kids' spirits. If a child is not in a growth mindset environment, they're never going to grow. If they sit in a class and they're like, oh, you can't do this, you're too slow, you're too this, the kids are going to believe that. Kids believe what you tell them. And if you praise effort, not being clever, because that's also an issue that I know we don't have time to talk about, but you have to also be careful what to praise when it comes to children, because that could lead to negative effects in the future. If you praise the effort and the child feels like no matter how many mistakes they'll do in class, you'll never yell at them, you'll never get angry, and I just want you to give the best version of yourself. If they feel love from you, it's enough. So if the child does not love the teacher, it's an issue because there are a lot of underlying problems.
What kind of children cannot study here?
Okay, now during the interviews, I would say that we mainly care about the parent instead of the child. Why do I say that? Because we have children who are, quote, considered problematic at school. And you have ADHD, and they do have ADHD. Or you're very naughty, you're very this, you're very that. But they're a completely different version of themselves at the institute. And their moms keep telling me, I don't know what to tell you, like, thank you so much. The point is, we need parents that we can collaborate with. A parent that I know that if I call you one day because I see that your child keeps telling me, okay, I had the ice cream today, and then I had cake, and then I had this and that, I'm going to call you and see what's going on, because I care about the kid. If you're the type of parent who is going to be offended, oh, what do you care about my child's health? What do you care about this and that? I don't want to work with you.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we have parents from like all around Limassol. We have kids who go to private schools, fluent English speakers. It's because the parents know that I want my kid in here.
Yes.
And if I can collaborate with the parent, the child is not difficult for me, because I have worked with many difficult cases where the parent literally they're like, I don't know what you did, but thank you. Yeah.
And how many students can be in the class?
Each classroom maximum 12 children. I mean, you can go up to 15 children in general, max. I would never suggest more than that, because if you want to provide personalized attention.
I remember we were like 40, 30 students.
That's unbelievable. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Because it's the first but not last our interview, so I don't have last question for you, but I have a game for you, quiz game, so you no need to overthink, you just answer whatever comes to your mind. What is worse, a lazy parent or an emotionally unavailable teacher?
I would say a lazy parent.
Lazy parent. If you could remove one subject from the school curriculum forever, what would it be?
That's a very difficult question. I don't even remember.
Just the first.
Wait. What's the... I forgot. Ancient Greek. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the ancient Greek teachers.
Do you believe all teachers should pass a mental health test before they are allowed to work with kids?
100%.
Would you rather raise a child who always follows the rules or one who questions everything, even you?
I adore children who keep asking questions, because they're more likely to be successful in life.
If you had to choose one government education reform or 100 new private schools, which you will choose?
I would ask for the system to be reformed, because it's not just private schools, public schools. Public school children also deserve education that is at a good quality. So yes.
I want to thank you personally for being such a great teacher, for loving children, for being for them a best friend and mentor. And I'm sure from your school, these children will be very important persons, and they will change a lot of destinies around them. And personally, because I care about this topic a lot, we will have a lot of together series, I can say, and maybe we can help also parents and maybe some teachers will be motivated by you. So I want to thank you personally.
Thank you again for having me. It was a very beautiful conversation, Elizabeth.
And of course, you have your presents from our partners. This is present from our partner, Natural Beauty and Spa. You will enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I'm excited already. I need something to relax.
Yes, you need. You work many hours. And you have present from our partner AI Aesthetics. You will also enjoy.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much.
And you have 20% discount from our Energizer marketing company.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nafsika, so much. And I will see you very soon.
Lies, pedos, kids be using metaverse. Lost for words, I observe it all, and it fucking hurts to see us going downhill. The future is looking worse. These words I be saying, do you take it in, or are you blind to it? Shots I had to take on chin within a short time. Learned some things, watch your closest day arrivals. Hate to see you win, swear that my patience is thin.
They don't want us to learn about money because they just want to pump out good employees that do what they're told.
You want me to build you an English language institute that looks like a luxury boutique hotel?
Yeah.
Has the lounge area.
Yeah.
And a garden.
Yeah.
High-tech equipment.
Yeah.
And exclusive workshops that prepare you for life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at school, it's opposite of what it takes to be successful in real life. Don't make a mistake. Do as you're told. Take tests by yourself. Don't cooperate. Do it by yourself. Do it on your own. And the last thing was, there's only one right answer.
Ungratefulness and lies is what I despise. Times I tried and tried, but no, there's no regrets in this life. Now I'm working on my damn self. Done it by myself so long, I don't need no damn help. Deep down, they ain't there. No one said life is fair. Born alone, die alone. Everywhere you go, you get awkward stares. It's like, what have I done wrong? I just work all day, then I write these songs. Mine be gone. Most of the time, overthinking all the hopes, all the wishing. Don't get you nowhere if you don't have the vision. It's all about the mindset. You be slacking if it's my music, you ain't behind you.